this. Woo.
Welcome aboard our home and trawler, Sea Venture. Join us and the crew as we travel, explore, and experience all the world has to offer. We hope your time with us entertains, inspires you to live the life of your dreams. If we can do it, you can do it. So let's cast off the lines and head out for our next adventure.
In this episode, we explore the anchorages around Wrangell Island. Here's the island with the town at the north end. We start in Thoms Place, move on to Anita Bay, and then after a quick stop in Wrangell, on to Maden Bay. Previously, we visited Berg Bay, Fool's Inlet, Bradfield Canal and the Whales, and Ann Bear Observatory. So now, let's go check these out.
Off on another about a week-long adventure. It's, October 14th. I don't think we'll see any other cruising boats, but we'll see. So we're headed south from Wrangell, going that way. Look how nice it is out. Just a little cloudy, but that's no big deal. This is a great time not to be sailing, because we're sitting in here and it's almost 70 degrees, and outside is 44 degrees with a 13 knot breeze over the bow. So pretty nice.
Blake thinks so too.
Yeah.
Barkley has the zoomies.
Yep, he gets excited to go boating.
Oh, goodness.
Come help. We've got about 5.5 hour cruise today. The computer's steering. So our job is to watch for other boats, of which there are none, and watch for debris in the water, of which so far we've seen none.
But we just got started.
Yeah, we just got started a little bit ago, so.
Are you helping, Barkley?
Oh, sure, he helps. Thankfully, on the dash, you can't turn off the engines by pushing down on a button. You pull up, turn off the engine, so we feel pretty safe with Barkley sitting up there.
What are you gonna do, kid?
I don't know what he's doing. Right, cruising along in the mid-October day. Rosie still on her phone because we changed phone carriers up here to GCI, the carrier up in Southeast Alaska, and our phones work a lot more than they did now. So Rosie's sitting here doing research.
No, I'm standing here.
Standing there doing, because all the cats are taking up the seats. In the meantime, we're just totally lounging, doing much of nothing.
No, we're cruising.
Cruising, okay.
Cruising. It's gonna get interesting.
Yeah, computer's driving.
It's turning into a beautiful afternoon.
Mid-October, cruising, Alaska, North Pacific. It should be our opportunity to show you big waves, huge winds, snowstorms. Because that's what cruising in Southeast Alaska in the winter should look like. But no, the weather will not cooperate. This is what, in fact, cruising in Southeast Alaska in the middle of October looks like. That's it. Really feel like we're in the North Pacific, don't we?
Beautiful views as we head towards the switchbacks, if you will, in this channel up ahead. The sun's coming out. It's a beautiful October day. the rainbow? Hopefully we pick this up. It's starting to rain, but there is a rainbow here, and you can see it on that side. And then you go across the bay, or the channel, and you can see it on the other side.
We wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.
The cats loved the door screens when they were in place, but I think they like them even better when we were taking them down for the season.
Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it.
Well, we'll find out.
We don't need no
Barkley? Barkley, we're trying to lower this. Oh, Barkley. No. Hold on. Do you want to go down?
Before I sleep. Let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it.
Barkley.
We don't need
Come on.
no
Hey, right here.
even in the hard times.
It's safe.
You and I can weather any storm.
Oh, Lordy B. And there he is.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times. You and I can weather any storm.
If you can jump down and be trapped.
On the outside, yeah.
Hi, Barkley.
We circled back around and got Barkley safely inside the boat before we took off again. There's a rock on the chart that we wanted to check out by dinghy. We had seen the rock at lower tides, but it also gave us a little bit of a surprise. Oh goodness, there's a big rock underneath us. It's not, I think we're okay, but it's right there. Wow. Yeah, you'd have trouble here.
But it's spot on. I cannot get to the X on the chart.
All right. Well, good. Fortunately, the chart and the rock lined up perfectly. Jim's just finished pulling up the anchor. It's about 10 knots of wind, and it's kind of a drizzly cold day, 39 degrees outside. October boating, 40 degrees. Some wind, none at the moment, 2 knots at the moment. We're sitting around 8 or 10 knots on average. And rain,
Yeah.
lots of rain.
But hey, It's not crowded. You get the pick of your anchorages. Well, here's our little S-curve, that's what I'll call it, S-turns in Zimovia Channel. A place where we know a couple different boats at least have ran aground. Because it looks kind of open, but it's not. So let's see what it looks like sped up.
First, let's take a look at the chart to see why our charted course goes in an S-curve. You can see the reefs in the channel that we need to work around to stay in deeper water. Without plotting it ahead of time, you could easily see, looking out the window, how a boat could think it could go straight through. All right, we left Thoms Place this morning. It was actually it was a very rainy and drizzly, and we cruised our way through the S-curves, and now we're headed to Anita Bay, but we took a short detour to get a little bit of Wi-Fi. And now we're heading into Anita Bay to anchor, and there's some kind of hatchery something over there. Over here, and this is the bay we're going to, and so you can take a look. There's a few pots out here, crab or shrimp or something, and anyway, we're going to find ourselves a place to anchor for a couple nights, and then we'll head back to Wrangell. What's going on?
I'm setting up a bottom fish line to hang off the back of the boat using the salmon downrigger pole holder. Because it's beautiful out, but it's like 39 degrees, so I'm going to go sit inside where the heat's on and watch my pole.
Oh, Blake wants to go outside. He doesn't mind the cold. Check this out, we just got anchored. It was all drizzly when we came in, and the sun is coming out, and it looks like it could be actually gorgeous in the sunshine. Well, it's gorgeous anyway, but you know what I mean. More gorgeous in the sunshine. Things were actually looking okay. We had a little bit of blue sky. Let's see if I can find it. Ooh. But all of a sudden a serious squall is coming in. Take a look at this. Woo. Good morning. It is about 8:30, and today is the first morning that we woke up to below freezing temperatures. So this is what it's like. We are in Alaska Bay, and this is what it looks like here. It doesn't feel super cold at the moment, but everything was pretty chilly overnight. And we're going to take off today. It's about 3 hours to Wrangell. We're going to go do a little fishing along the way, and then we'll head into town to take care of some Wi-Fi stuff and reprovision, and then we're going to take off again for a few more days. It's supposed to be clear and very cold in the 20s for the next 3 days, so it feels kind of icy on the decks. weird. Ooh, it feels crunchy. I guess, yeah, it's still pretty iced over here. Look at that. Oof. Burr. Well, I think this is just a taste of things to come. Alright, we're pulling up the anchor, but as we were spinning around, we noticed our snowy peaks have more snow on them. Check it out. There was a little shallow spot here, so we tried a little bit of fishing, but we didn't really have any success. But then as we're leaving, I looked up. Take a look at this. It's really, it looks like it's just fresh snow. And everything takes on a whole new look with the dusting of snow. After a short stopover in Wrangell, we headed off for Maden Bay. The town of Wrangell has about 2,500 people. It boasts a comprehensive marine service center, a large 300-ton lift, and 3 marinas. Here is our course to Maden Bay. We start at Wrangell and work our way along the North Channel, go around the Hook, and work our way into Maden Bay. Here's the water view of the airport in Wrangell. We're heading out the east side of Wrangell Island. We have the airport on our starboard side, and we're heading up the back channel. We have about 20 knots of wind. Here we round the peninsula and enter into Maden Bay. We anchor into the Hook in the back, where it says it's 50 feet deep, but we really find about 100. Okay, we're at 91 feet. Good? We had this great idea for a sunrise time lapse. The problem was, just when it was getting good, the wind changed. Here we leave on this sunny, clear, cold day, head south out of Maden Bay, around the corner, and north back to Wrangell. Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on our tour of the anchorages around Wrangell Island. We hope you enjoyed it. And thanks also for watching and for subscribing and for sending your comments. We really do appreciate hearing from you.
Come check out the Instagram if you want at Cruising Sea Venture. We're still trying to figure that one out. And the website is coming along well, faster than we anticipated and looking good. So watch for that coming up soon.
Thanks for joining us. Wishing you all
no wind and flat seas.
Q&A
Bye, everybody.
coming up next.
Oh, yeah, Q&A. Don't forget the Q&A. Bye. Welcome to another round of our Sea Venture Q&A. Question 1. Hansen asked, would Sea Venture remain upright if grounded on the beach? And he referenced in his question the large tidal exchanges up more than 20 feet at times up here in Alaska. And the answer to the question is absolutely not. Sea Venture would tip over. We draw just over 6 feet on a center keel. And with the twin engines, we have what's called fin keels, 2 little keels that come out of the sides. But no, Sea Venture would lay on her side if beached. So we're not going to do that. Question 2 today. Elizabeth asked, is it hard to get liveaboard slips in Southeast Alaska, and what's different than where we've been before? Another great question. So in Southeast Alaska, there's a variety of towns you can get slips in. They seem to vary quite a bit, and it makes a difference whether you want to slip just for the winter or year-round. I know in Sitka, apparently, there's a multi-year waiting list to get a slip. year-round, and maybe some options to fill in some empty slips if you wanted the winter only. On the inside here, it varies just depending on where you are and what kind of availability there is. There does seem to be some availability. Unlike Puget Sound, where there mostly is a waiting list everywhere for any kind of slip for larger boats. For this winter, both Ketchikan and Juneau they're in the process of doing some dredging in their marinas and have part of the marinas closed. So they did not have available slips for the winter. So we are here in Wrangell. The other differences that you'll run into is cost is one. In Everett, we paid about $1,250 a month for a 60-foot slip, and here in Wrangell is $1,950 for a year for a slip. So a huge difference in the price of the slip. So that's the primary differences. The other thing is, I think the marinas up here not going to rent you a slip unless you're physically here in your boat. I don't think they want people taking up slips that think they might come and then don't show up or whatever. I'm not quite sure, but in any event, they weren't in Wrangell going to give us a slip unless we were here in Sea Venture, which is how we got our slip that we're using as a home base for this winter. So great question, Elizabeth. Thanks. David asked, does your Watermaker require you to run the generator or be on shore power? And the answer is no. It's a 12-volt Watermaker. We use it when cruising. We do not use it at anchor or at a dock with shore power. One, it doesn't need it. It actually only draws like 12 to 15 amps, something like that. It's a Spectra 300 Watermaker, makes up to 300 gallons per day. Works great. And then the other thing about running a Watermaker in northern latitudes, like up here in Alaska, is you really can't do it so much at anchor or at a dock. There's just too much marine life in the water, and the filters would clog up pretty fast. So we only use the Watermaker in open water while cruising, and that works great. It pulls the power off the generators, and we don't notice the difference. So great question. Thank you. So Jay asked a great question. How do you handle healthcare and prescriptions while cruising? And that is one of the things you got to sort out if you're going to cruise full time away from one central location. For Rosie and I, we have the added challenge of being in our now late 50s and retired, and so we're not eligible for Medicare or anything like that. So we just pay for health insurance out of pocket. By far, by the way, our largest single expense in retirement is healthcare. There's nothing that's even a close second, actually, to except upgrades on the boat, but we don't count that. We just don't count the boat. So for healthcare, we keep our primary healthcare in the state of Washington, which does us some value, but not a great deal, especially since we happen to have Kaiser, and they're not available here in Alaska. And then when we're traveling, we use a company called World Nomads to buy travel insurance, and they don't cover pre-existing conditions or any of those kind of things. It's just an accidental insurance with a good evacuation policy, which is important, and you have to be more than 100 miles away from home. The premium for that is it's pretty affordable, and it depends on what countries you're going to visit what the premium is because of the different healthcare. So that's how we've done it. Prescriptions, we've used our regular healthcare in Washington and just had them mailed up here to Alaska, and that has worked just fine. In Mexico, again, we used our World Nomads policy. Though when we had some healthcare to cost incurred in Mexico, we ended up just paying for it out of pocket and it wasn't even worth bothering to fill out the insurance forms. It was so inexpensive to just pay for healthcare, just pay for your care as needed. So that's how we've handled healthcare. It just had to work around those things and get it taken care of. But it has been totally workable. In all the small towns here, there's either a small hospital or a community health clinic. So if you had an emergency or needed to go to the doctor, just like anyone that's in Alaska, that there's access to good quality health care. All right, that's going to wrap up today's Q&A. Thanks a lot. And looking forward to seeing you next time. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comments in YouTube or give us an email at cruisingseaventure@gmail.com. But until next time, wishing you no wind and flat seas.